Hey Piro. So I watched your video on masks, intoxication, and philosophy, and interesting you're talking about intoxication since I happen to be finishing off this bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. Um, as the pundits all debate about how Obama did tonight in the State of the Union, um, but I found it interesting that you seem to be making this video sort of a style versus substance sort of message about all the things you could do to make your videos look cooler and appeal to a wider audience. When one thing that first struck me about videos was all the psychedelic effects you got going on. I mean, the way that in every one of your videos you got some different like effect that makes yourself in the background look all weird and trippy and stuff, and it's like how it's always you know some other weird way of seeing things. And I'm not saying that to criticize. I mean, I like that about your videos, but the fact that you do it kind of gives this impression that maybe you understand the value of style as a part of your videos. I mean, it's like you the psychedelic effects you have in your videos enhance sort of relativistic, skeptical view of reality that comes across in your videos, and I very much like that, and so uh, I want that to continue, but I think that kind of brings up the point about how appearances matter, and how you seem to recognize the importance of appearances, and the way that art can convey certain messages. Um, I mean, it's weird for me how my sort of experimentation with psychedelics has, in some ways, maybe a little more materialistic in terms of stuff in my house. Like I've come to like appreciate set and setting all the more, and realizing how like my surroundings, my environment, and the sort of style that I surround myself with affects my consciousness. So that's why I have scented candles burning, or incense, or decorations on the wall and stuff that it contributes to my level of awareness, um, and provide and sort of makes a setting for certain modes of thought and certain ways of seeing the world. Um, and studying the inactivist ideas of like Francisco Varela and Humberto Maturana kind of got me more to see how my mind is not so much in here as much as like out here, in my surroundings. And how my environment is actually part of my mind. Um, and so I mean, I think uh, I mean, it's important not to value appearances over all else, but it's important not to neglect them either. I mean, in Hinduism, you have these yantras that are supposed to elevate your consciousness to new levels. In Tibetan Buddhism, you have these tangas that display all these devas and these different ideas about karma and samsara and all this stuff that are not necessarily conveyed as well through through the word. And I find it kind of interesting how the cathedrals in medieval times were kind of meant to visually convey the mightiness of God. And in part, it was because a lot of the population at the time was illiterate, and so people would go into these cathedrals and see these huge columns and arches, these huge Gothic vaults, and see these large stained glass windows, that brought forth the glory of God. And I think so much of our language falls short of describing the sort of visual and kinesthetic experiences that we have. Um, and so I know I'm sure your video was not meant to impugn upon art. I mean, you obviously seem like someone who respects art very much, and I saw your video where where you show that you're starting to play drums. Obviously, you're still learning. Um, and you obviously have an appreciation for that creative aspect of a person. So I mean, I think what you're trying to attack here is other people's ideas about what your videos should look like, and uh, how to make them more flashy and interesting and stuff. And sort of I can applaud that level of wanting to live up to your own individuality and authenticity. Um, but don't pretend that it's about appearances versus the message, because appearances can greatly contribute to the message. So that's my thoughts for now. Um, cheers.